Shabbat Shalom and welcome to Thought for Shabbat. This week we read the Torah portion known as Toldot. It's one of my favorite Torah portions. I know you think I say that all the time, but this really is one of my favorite portions because it speaks of so many different issues. It speaks of the birth of Jacob and Esau, and before they're born, while Rebekah is pregnant with them, she says to God, Lama ze anochi? Why is this happening to me? Why is this pregnancy so painful and so difficult when all I wanted was to become pregnant, and now you curse me essentially with such a painful pregnancy? Her cry out and her rhetorical question, which doesn't get answered by God, specifically really gets answered in some ways by Isaac's plea. But suffice to say, God says there are two nations in your womb and they are wrestling with each other. They're struggling with each other. I don't want to go into the answer and analysis of that, but rather the question she asks, because it's a very natural question, that when painful things happen to us, we say, why me? Why me? One explanation, a traditional explanation, is that God causes things to happen beyond our understanding, but there are always reasons behind it. Another explanation is the exact opposite of that. And it says the following. When people ask, why me? An answer might be, why not me? And that is to suggest that there is a randomness in the world, that no one person does such evil that they deserve pain or such goodness that they deserve blessing, that there's a lot of randomness in the world. And no one person is pointed out for this struggle more than any other person. And both can bring a person solace. One says there's a purpose for my suffering, and therefore I can endure it. And the other says, I wasn't chosen for or not chosen for this suffering. And I take great faith in that I wasn't pointed out as somebody who has to endure suffering more or less than any other person. My number was just up in terms of this happening, this occurrence happening to me. For many, and both are validly Jewish, I believe, for many, having that higher purpose is really meaningful. For others, the fact that there was no good reason for something to happen is not just the period at the end of the thought. Because what happens in those moments is that it's emptiness. However, when something bad does happen to a person, the beauty of our humanity and of our Jewish faith is that we can bring meaning to it. It doesn't mean it happened for a reason so that you could bring that meaning, but because it did happen, you can bring meaning. I think of so many scholarships, for example, that are named for young people who have passed away, and the parents want to recognize their memory by educating other children. We have programs right here in our congregation that are named for people for whom tragedy has struck, and yet we bring meaning to those memories and those people. Was there a reason it happened? Not for me to decide. It's for each person to decide their own theology. But when things do happen, we can bring meaning and purpose to those very tough situations. I was reading about somebody who became a doctor, and when they were a child, they were diagnosed with a very terrible illness. And the child struggled with, why me? Why did this happen to me? And in the end, the person said to themselves, I have no idea, but I'm going to become a doctor so I can help those who are suffering with the disease that I had, even though there was no reason for them to have it as far as this person could discern. So a frustrating thought for Shabbat for you, because you have to decide whether when bad things happen, they happen for a purpose, or when bad things happen to a person, there's no reason that they happen, but we can bring purpose and meaning to it. Both are valid, both are Jewish. You decide. Please join us tonight, 7 p.m. for services. I will look forward to seeing you there. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week. Take care.